Right, so we're brewing again. We're going to brew this time. We're going to do a raspberry wheat beer out at Bible, out of his Greg Hughes's homebrew beer. And I've copied the recipe out and laminated it, which is what I do. I keep them in a file, and I just, when I'm brewing, I just take this while I'm brewing rather than my book. Then I'm not getting it wet, splashing it. Just use one of these. So we're doing raspberry wheat beer, and it's grain bill is lager malt 2.7 kilo, wheat malt 2.3 kilo. That's all your malts. Your hops are Challenger, 1 edition, 20 grams, start at boil, and a Protaflock in your last 15. It should be, we're hoping for an OG of 1050 and an FG of 1012, giving us 5.1 or thereabouts. 23 litre batch, and we're putting 2.5 kilo raspberries in, 2 days in, 3 days into fermentation, leaving it for a week. And yeast is an American 1010 liquid, which is what I've got here, smack pack. So what I'm going to do, I'm not actually brewing today, I'm going to brew tomorrow. Today I'm going to do a yeast starter. Now, if I were brewing tomorrow and pitching yeast tomorrow, I'd have started this yeast starter yesterday or even the day before. Because I'm doing it into cube, I can let this finish and I can leave it in cube a couple of days and it won't hurt. When this is done, I can put it in a fermenter and pitch my yeast. Now, like I say, I'm using a 1010 American liquid yeast, smack pack. And for what they are, they're quite expensive. I think this was £6 odd. Best part of £7. So I want to get at least more than one brew out of this. 2, possibly 3, and then we'll see. So I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna make a starter. And I'm gonna use a bit of yeast nutrient as well. Make a starter, but I'm gonna make a big one. I'm gonna make a 3 litre starter. And I'm going on a ratio of 100 grams of DME to a litre of water. So I've got 300 grams of DME over there, which I'll take you over in a minute, and I've got 3 litres of water. I'm just going to dissolve that, boil it for 4 or 5 minutes just to sanitise everything. Smack pack, smack pack, and then when that's cooled down, I'm going to decant it all into a demijohn. I ain't got a flask or anything like that, and I ain't even got a stir plate, so I'm just going to use a demijohn. Pour it all in there, stick an airlock on rather than a bit of foil, and just leave it to ferment out in a couple of days. I think that's it. That's all I'm doing. Reason I'm doing a big starter, I'm going to do a 3 litre starter, and I'm going to put roughly half of it into brew. Other half I'll decant and put in fridge. And I might even, on the next brew I do, I might build that back up again to 3 litres, decant 1.5 litres again. And I suppose in theory I could keep going with that for quite a while, but we'll see. We'll see how good a fermentation I get. So that's my plans. I'll tag alt brewing footage on with this. So I'll see you in a bit. Right, you can see what setup we've got. Just got a little stove, just heating that up. I've just smacked me pack of yeast, and I think I've broke my internal. You can just give it a shake, leave it, let it swell up. And that's boiling now. It's just a case of 3 litres of 300 grams mixed in. And we'll just let that dissolve and leave it for 5 minutes maybe. And then we'll put it in here. Put some sanitizer in. And that's it really. I'll show you pouring it in and dropping this in when it's ready. Right, we've tipped his DME solution into his demijohn. Now I know it looks a lot, but if you think I'm not putting all of that in. I'm just building a big yeast starter. And we've got a smack pack, and I've had this going for over 3 hours. Oh, that smells yeasty. And while that will go in, I got, as you can see, I got everything else ready for brew day tomorrow. But this won't be going in till, what did I say, a day or two after. I'm thinking 2, possibly 3 days for this yeast starter. And just bang an airlock in. So I'll come back to you when we're brewing. Right, we've just finished his mash, so we'll get all these coats and covers off his mash tun, and we're going to start his sparge in a minute when I get a jug and run a couple of jugs off. Take his lid off altogether. So we ended up, should have been a hour mash, but we ended up 1 hour and 15. Got busy doing something else, but that won't hurt anything. So we'll get this sparge underway. And then we can get his boil on. And it only usually takes 2-3 jugfuls, and then we seem to be running pretty clear. Smells beautiful. In fact, I think 2 jugs will do us. Yeah, it will. So we're going to let that sparge through, and we're going to want 26. Hang on, just kicked back in. We're going to want 26 litres. 27 litres, but I always take a couple extra to compensate when we boil off and what have you. So we've got that going now, and I'll come back to you when we're boiling. Right, we've just come up to a boil. Don't know if you can see that if I put it up there. Just come to a boil. So first edition and only edition of hops, and it's Challenger, and it's 25 grams at start. So this will just be for a bit of bittering. So they're in, and seeing as it's a Sunday afternoon, we're just having a cheeky pint. Pale ale out at Bible. In fact, I've just done a taste test on it. Did it yesterday. Got that to edit up and put up as soon as I can. So that's what we're on with now. Just put us hop edition in. We've got fan here. Just turn that on and blow it out at door. So that's me for a hour and 10 minutes boil. This is. So we'll come back later. Right, as boil's finished now. Went pretty smooth. I just forgot to drop my protoflock in at 15. I dropped it in at about 5 minutes to go. We just putting it in cube now, and I've just drawn off in jug a sample so I can do some readings when that cools down. So all in all, I think it's been alright, no major issues. We'll come back and give you some numbers, and then we'll show you how I pitch my yeast when I decant that from starter, and then we'll be dry hopping 2 or 3 days in with raspberries, 2.5 kilo, and hopefully it'll turn out to be a decent brew. So I'll come back in an hour or so when this is cooled and give you some numbers. Right, that's brew day totally done. We've just took a hydrometer reading. I've had it on side here for a couple of hours. It's cooled down, and it were asking for a OG of 1050. I've got 1047, so I'm 3 points below. But it is what it is, isn't it? And it should be finishing at 1012 to give you 5.1%. So we might still, it depends how low it goes. If it goes below 12, we'll be somewhere up near top end at 4.8, so somewhere up there. If it goes a bit lower, we'll see. So no major issues. I think I'll follow it through and show you me. I know it's only putting fruit in a bucket, but I'll tag raspberries on as well. We'll drop raspberries in, and don't think we're going to do a grain to glass with this. We'll just do a brew video, and then I'll come back for a taste test. So we're done, fellas. Quite a successful day. We'll dry up it in. I'll pitch me yeast. What are we on now? Maybe in a couple of days. Wait while that starter's finished, and then once we've pitched, 2 or 3 days in, 2.5 kilo of raspberries, let ferment out. So we'll come back when we put raspberries in. No, we won't. We'll come back when we're pitching yeast, when we're decanting yeast. Then we'll come back to raspberries. Right, catch you later. Right, it's been 3 days, just over. And that's a yeast starter we did. You can see it's done, and there's a nice layer of yeast built up in bottom. So all we're going to do, we're going to put roughly half into here, and that can go in fridge, and half's going to go straight in my beer, which is in house. So that's what we're doing. But before we tip it in, we're going to get a good swirl and get. Let me take that off. We're I'm going to get a good swirl and get all this yeast, because it's started to compact a little bit, off bottom, and get it moving around. So you can see bottom's clear now, and my hands are clean. So there you are, it's all in suspension now. Just a matter of roughly, I want to be somewhere near my thumb, somewhere down there. Maybe a touch more. So we've roughly split that now in half, and we'll just tip half into beer and we'll put half in the fridge. Oh, I'll see you in 2 minutes. Right, we've just tipped it in, and I had camera set so you could see it. Didn't press record, tipped it in, so we've missed that a little bit, but we're only tipping this into bucket. So we're done now, really. If you can see, my bucket's there. So it's just a matter of leaving that to get going, and then hopefully in, it says 2 days, but I might leave it 3. I'll stick some raspberries in. So we'll come back when we put raspberries in. Right, it's come that time now to add my raspberries, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, got 7 tubs. Wow, that yeast really went nuts. Oh, I can't really show you. I've got 7 of these tubs, punnets, whatever you want to call them, and I've just given them a bit of a shake just to break them a little bit so that they'll help with juice, and it's just straight in. Straight in with all 7. On recipe it said to wait, put them in after 2 days, but I haven't, I've waited. This is what we're on now, it's been nearly a week before I came in, and purely because it will go in that bonkers, I thought I might lose some of them raspberry aromas and what have you. You know, they might ferment off. So we've been in a week. It's been a week. I'm now adding my 2.5 kilo, or just under. I think it works out over 50 grams, just under. And I'll now leave these for a week. And then we'll see about settling them, letting it drop out a bit and what have you. I don't know what I mentioned these were frozen raspberries that I've just let defrost. And now they've all gone in. Ooh. And it's as simple as that. So we'll come back in another week. Right then, it's been just over a week. That's done now. So I've just got, if you can see, another bucket. I'm just going to rack it in there, leave it a day, 2 days, let it just drop out a little bit, and then it'll be ready for bottling or kegging, whichever I do. I've just put a little hot bag over end at auto siphon, just to help stop any bits of rubbish blocking pipe. Oh, smells beautiful. And just take you, see if you can see that colour. Smells gorgeous. So that's all we're doing now. We just sit back on there. Just racking that over, and then I have to make the decision whether to keg it or bottle it. We'll see. Started out at 4.7 if I remember, 4.7 or 4.8. I'm gonna take a sample of this, and at some point I'll drop you numbers in what we've come out at. So I'll catch you later. Well, I left that on side 2 days just to clear out any bits, let them drop down. I've now bottled it. I bottled, if you can see there's how many? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 bottles, and I kegged, I think it was 15 litres. And just got a little quick sample, and if you see, it's a lovely colour. Lovely red with a tinge of pink in it. Beautiful. And them raspberries are there definitely, and there's a slight dryness, probably more dryness than what is intended, because it should have finished at 10:12 and I finished at 10:08. It went a little bit lower, so because it's gone a bit lower, I've just about hit my numbers. I'm just under 5%, 4.9 whatever, depending on which ABV calculator you go on, but I'm well happy with that. Like I say, we'll let them bottles condition for 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks maybe. That's on gas now, so I should be able to pour one of them with my shift pattern or one thing. A little bit end of week I'll be able to try one of them, and I've got some for beer males, and I'll do a taste test later on when we're all conditioned and done. So that was the raspberry wheat out at Bible, and I'll catch you all next time.